We're now a couple days removed from the tragic passing of Matthew and Johnny Gaudreau, and it still doesn't feel real. And the more you consider it, how it happened, when it happened, where it happened, why it happened, none of it makes sense. And I think as humans, it's our instinct to try and make sense of it, to try and find reasons, to try and put this all together and understand it better. There just simply is no understanding this. There's really not. I've loved the response of people with the GoFundMe for Matthew and his family and his unborn child. Man, that is terrible. And for Johnny, I've loved the tributes and some of the old clips that have resurfaced, and we thought we knew him well, those of us just in the hockey sphere, but man, you come to appreciate who he was as a person and a family member and a teammate and a player in this league now even more. And I just feel like even somebody like myself, we're starting to really realize what we'll miss down the road. And so that's what I kind of want to get into here in this video. Like, what could the NHL do for Johnny Hockey? That's a young Johnny Hockey right there, winning the Lady Byng Trophy at the end of the 2016-2017 season. And that's kind of where I'll go first here. I've got two ideas, and maybe this is more Johnny related than Matthew related. I just want to be very clear. These were brothers. This is a family. This is an entire situation. Obviously, Johnny was prominent in the National Hockey League, so maybe more of the focus goes on him here for this video and this conversation, but it certainly doesn't encompass everything of what the family's going through. Maybe the NHL could rename the Lady Byng Memorial Trophy, which, by the way, per definition, goes to the player adjudged to have exhibited the best type of sportsmanship and gentlemanly conduct combined with a high standard of playing ability after every single NHL season. And no disrespect to Lady Byng herself of the late 1800s and early 1900s. I think the trophy was dedicated in the early 1920s. Marie Evelyn Byng, she was the Viscountess Byng. I'm not truly familiar with British or Canadian royalty or history. I can't really tell you who Lady Byng was, and that's fine. And I don't know that we should always make practice of renaming and replacing, but if there ever was a time to maybe consider a change of the Lady Byng Trophy, it might be to name it after Johnny Gaudreau, who was a recent recipient. And in fact, when he won it in 2016-17, he said, quote, "It's pretty surreal. Going from a small town in New Jersey to winning an award like this is something crazy, something I never thought I'd get the chance to do. You want to keep bringing the awards in, keep pushing for it. I think everyone can get better at anything they're doing." End quote. And so that's just one idea. And I realize we are still in the emotions of this, as we will be for quite some time. But I don't think that this is an overly sensitive thing to do. Like, I think this is a right thing to do. I don't think we're reacting because of our emotions here. I think as time passes, we'll still feel good about maybe renaming this trophy in honor of Johnny Gaudreau. There's something else I think the NHL might want to do, considering the circumstances here. And I do think we are early in this conversation, obviously. But as I think about the season right around the corner, and I understand what opening night might be for Columbus players and fans and everybody surrounding that organization, they'll need a night. They'll need a moment. They'll need a lot, right? To be together, to heal together, to start that process together. So they'll have something. But I also realize that as Columbus tours the continent this upcoming fall and winter and spring, like pretty much every road game they play, they'll probably have some type of in-arena tribute to Johnny Gaudreau. There'll probably be so many moments during this season where he will be remembered and tributed, as obviously he should be. I feel like that's just something inevitable that's going to happen. But as that happens, which is a good thing, which is human nature, which is something that helps people get through this tragedy, maybe the NHL could also tie along into it some sort of anti-drunk driving campaign. Because obviously it's the situation. That's why we're here. The Gaudreau family, I think, would have to be on board with that. But here we are as humans trying to make this a situation better. We should probably just grieve and be at that part of the process. But if you think about this in advance, if it just saved somebody else's life, or it inspired somebody else to make a better decision or to be more careful or more safe or whatever, for all the NHL could do here, isn't it worth it? Even if it just saves one person down the road so that one more family doesn't have to go through something like this. So I'm wondering if in the future that's something the NHL might take on, is how to handle that situation, how to tactfully bring it into the conversation and to make sure that that's part of Johnny's legacy. Again, I think the Lady Byng would be a great tribute, renaming that after him. I think this is something separate. It's also a little bit more direct and straight to the point, but it could also affect lives, unlike anything else. So just a couple ideas, but going back to the bottom line, going back to the very beginning of this, it's going to take a while. The shock factor still there. It's changing. It's evolving. But I think the sadness, the frustration, the reality just hasn't changed a whole lot yet. I'll see you next time.